Hi, you've met our children, and now here's an opportunity for you to meet us. Mom first.
Mom first. My name is Rachel.
Your full name, please, my love.
Rachel Simpson.
No,
My full name. My name is Rachel Lee Simpson.
no, more.
Nidijinikaz Rachel. Sorry, Rachel Nidijinikaz. And my spirit name is Brown Thunderbird Woman Bringing Good Things.
Brown Thunderbird woman bringing good things.
So yeah, that would be what I was told. Good things were children. I received that with the first child that I delivered, and out came 5 additional, and then 4 more. So yeah, I'm mama to 10, and yeah, we have a big family. I'm currently a full-time student with the University of Manitoba. I'm in my 3rd year. And what else is there about me? I'm a princess. Well, I should say queen. However, yeah, I'm very blessed. My love and my children are very attentive, and we all make the ship go.
Let's talk about 4Fs for a minute, baby. What are the 4Fs for you?
For me, it's faith, so our spiritual connection, our family, our the 2 of us and our children. Fitness, and well, fitness, we're always every day engaging in some kind of activity. Usually not alone, it's a family effort. And then food. Food is very important, and I guess the education behind that is finding what works for us as an individual and as a family, and just to feed our soul and to get rid of a lot of the preservatives that we find in the store, because we know it's not good for our children. And everybody's going to have a love and hate relationship with food. However, food is important. It's the fuel for our tanks for the day, and it can either lead us to have a good day or a bad day. So choose wisely what you put in your body.
Absolutely. And what's school been like for you, baby?
School?
Remote learning and university level.
For me, because I have social anxiety, so it's been a benefit. Go in the room, go to class. You don't have to go sit in a class as being a mature student. You're in a class with 200 students who are teeny boppers, and now I can just sit at home and take my classes and enjoy it and actually be fully engaged. And yeah, I think the only downside is the not lack of support, but the one-on-one support where you're actually able to get things done with a tutor, or somebody meeting them face to face, instead of going across platforms and sharing work, and then something that would have took 10 minutes in person is taking an hour.
Right. That's
Yeah.
gotta be. And I mean, God bless the teeny boppers, eh? They're just getting started on their journey.
Yeah.
And, fun has to be a big part of their life as well. God bless them. And I mean, that's it. Just God bless them. I mean, we're not trying to say anything bad about them or remove them from the classroom or anything like that. It was just a question, and she answered her truth. Yeah. So, anything else you want to touch on, baby? Let me ask you this. What do you hope to gain out of this, other than it being a very elaborate exercise for my anxiety and my mental well-being? What do you...
Out of what?
The whole, because we're kind of just, what do we hope to accomplish? What do you hope on a personal level to accomplish by doing what we hope to do?
It's just the overall wellness of starting at home. And then when you start at home, then you're able to help those outside your home.
Right.
Either your immediate family or your close friends. And then from that step, then your community. So everything starts at home first, within myself, and then I can go to my partner or my children. But yeah, it all starts with myself first.
And that's so interesting because I mean, I had to learn that, and she had to patiently teach me that because last spring I was in a place where I was out here trying to save all 7 billion people on this planet, and she sat me down and said, you know, why don't we start with just our kids, you know? And I was like, it was so hard for me to not let go or prioritize my family over those. Not that. It's just, I mean, I live to serve. I have a servant's nature and spirit. And the idea that you can bring a horse to water, however, you can't force them to drink. And so we have influence here in our home. So we've decided to just focus first on our home. And if that flows over into the rest of the world, then that's great, or into our community, that's great. However, our priority has to be our children, and to ensure that everybody inside this home is all right first. For me, to go back a little bit, I mean, and for me, what I hope to attain out of this is this is actually therapy for me, because I mean, what's near and dear to my heart is trauma. And I mean, I intend to tell my story over the course of however long we do this. I mean, and my hope and my desire is that if that can help, what's that, baby?
No, I was just thinking, it's like, yeah, your story, but we have like two stories, and then our come together story.
Yeah.
So it's like two sets of traumas that are similar. Not trauma, there's a multiple.
It is trauma, yes.
Yeah.
But from the same trauma, similar trauma, but from the masculine and feminine perspective, which is what is so interesting about the dynamic of our relation, because obviously you're female, I'm male, and similar trauma, however, from the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And and I mean, my hope is that, because trauma is so very, very important. And really, what is at the heart of this is to break generational curses. That's what's at the heart of this for me, because within myself, I identified certain things that I had learned from my family that had been passed down from generation to generation. And I mean, while there were good things, certainly, wonderful things that I learned from my family that I wouldn't change for the world, there were also things that weren't so wonderful, that were a detriment to my personality, and I was then in turn turning around and teaching those things to my children. And once I identified that and figured out how I could change that, then we started on this journey, because nothing for us is more important than God and the ability to offer our children something more than what we had, which is not to say that we want to give them $1 million lifestyle. That's not it. We just want to give them well-being, the ability to not have to battle trauma.
I just want to add that when you're talking about it's the cultural trauma, not cultural trauma, but it's also decolonizing. So that trauma that is not culturally appropriate, or, you know, is like those things that happen intergenerationally is also colonization coming into our cultures. So is either what we were taught from colonizers, or is it actually from our ancestors? So we have to break down what we're going to pass along, the colonial culture or our ancestors' culture.
Ancestral culture.
And I think that's really something that we need to look at, because there's, in both our cultures, I'm Ojibwe.
And I'm Jamaican.
So there's similarities in our cultures.
Absolutely.
And a little differences. However, I think there's more similarities than differences.
And I think as human beings in general, I think that if we come together and just looked at ourselves, we'd find that we're more alike than we are apart, or different. And The thing is, though, I don't really want to dwell on that piece, right? Thank you, sweetheart. I don't. I
The lights
don't.
out.
I don't want to dwell on the piece about identifying and cultural differences and so on and so forth, because what is I would much rather, yes, those are very real challenges that are present, and I think that how we combat them is to educate our children to be aware of these pitfalls, because they are out there and they can be a detriment if you allow them to.
Yeah.
If you allow them to, they can absolutely be a detriment. They can absolutely be a stumbling block to your progressing and growing into a good, godly, kind, and decent human being. Having said that, it is my lived life experience that the biggest detriment to my own advancement as a human being has been my attitude. Not white supremacy, not, being disproportionately targeted, disproportionate numbers in jail. All of that is real. Absolutely. All of that is very real. Yes. But that's not what held me back. It was my attitude about it. It was my attitude that held me back. It was my attitude about all of that that kept me trapped, kept me stuck in that place for all those years. So now I've changed my attitude. I've learned to lean on God. I've learned to trust in His Word. I learned to lean not on my own understanding, but rely on Him to provide for me and my family. Because it's been my experience that even though I wasn't willing and ready at the time to receive the blessings He had for me, He always put people in place, in position, every step along my journey to help me. And it was me that wasn't ready to receive it at the time. And it's all these years later that I look back and it's like that poem Footprints, when you're talking about footprints in the sand. You say, how come in the toughest times of your life you only see one set of prints? And he says, my son, my precious child, I love you, I would never abandon you. During those times when you see one set of prints, it was that time that I carried you. Right? So I can only ever speak to my lived experience. That's it. And I happen to think that, I'm not completely unique in a lot of the things that I've endured. And I happen to believe that in my quest for self-actualization, to reach a point, the things that make me happy, being a good, godly, decent person, I have much to atone for. I've sinned a great deal in my life. I have much to atone for. I've left it at the feet of the cross. I've left it at the feet of my God. And He says that go forth and sin no more. And I try to do that. This is food, as Mom said, this is food for my soul. This is me trying to make it right, trying to be deserving of His blessing, trying to be deserving of His forgiveness, trying to be deserving of His grace. So I'm a servant. And if I can serve in any small way, if anything that I have to say helps to encourage someone in any small way, then it is well with my soul.
Are you going to introduce yourself?
We're moving backwards. I'm Ian Simpson. I am father of 10. Originally, I was a father of four boys only. Now I have girls, and having girls is different, man. If I'm a girl dad. Yeah, I'm like Kobe. I'm a girl dad through and through, man. Like I've got boys. I've got great big giants of men for boys. But let me tell you, man, I'm a girl dad, man. Yeah, I love having daughters. I love braiding their hair. I like listening to their little stories.
Dance sessions.
I heard once you say that when you have a son, they'll hold your hand for a time. When you have a daughter, they'll hold your hand for life. That's a true fact. Sons, after a while, they'll stop giving you kisses on the cheeks and stuff like that. And then that goes go for a kiss to the cheek to a punch in the shoulder. It's, oh, and when you got boys that are big like we do, it's like, yeah, no, don't touch me, get away from me. It's, you know, I really sincerely hope that my wife avails herself of this opportunity and tells her story, because hers is, let me tell you, I admire your strength so much. I mean, I don't know anybody stronger. I've never been around anyone stronger. It's not my story to tell. And here's something interesting that's really hard for me to endure. I'm committed to the idea, we're committed in our family to the idea of communication, because that way we don't build resentment, right? And so, you know, we've been in counseling, we're big fans of talk therapy, and this is a shout out to Selena Albright from, where's she at now, sweetheart?
New Direction.
She's from New Direction now. We've been in counseling since spring of last year, and it's been fantastic. And we are big fans of talk therapy. Jasmine is in counseling as well. We're looking to get the other kids, because, I mean, there's been a lot of trauma over the years, over the generations, you know, black and brown people. There's a lot of trauma involved with being, and I mean, it's not me sitting here pointing a finger at anybody. I'm just saying it's my responsibility to try to make this right for my family. So that's what we're out here doing. So one of the things is that I found out that she doesn't like to talk much about her past, and that's just like, it's so difficult for me, because I just want to help her to face that and help her to come to terms with it, right? So we're in a session with Selena on Wednesday, and she let out a simple truth. She told it, just a little small story, and she told that story before, and she just added a little detail, and I was just so broken. I was just like, and then I understood in that moment why she doesn't communicate with me about these things, because in everything she's always thinking about me first, and she knows that I can't not have an emotional reaction to certain things, that I'm just not wired that way. I'm every bit as much as an empath as she is, just in a different way. Where she goes inside, I just want to go, you know? So she doesn't speak, and it's like, that's so, and I just came to that realization, and I didn't say anything, baby. I kept that to myself. And that's like, I need to be stronger, because I need to be stronger so that when she tell me something, that, you know, I don't become broken, and then it becomes about me instead of you being able to process your pain, you know? And I need to be stronger, and I just, wow. Yeah. So that's my, I have to be stronger so that I can help her to bear her load, because, I mean, she helps me to bear mine every day. And I mean, nobody should have to endure that. Yeah.
You good, baby?
Yeah. So this is this is us, man, and this is what we out here doing. We're just, at the end of the day, we're just trying to heal. We're trying to heal ourselves, and we're trying to help our children heal.
Heal our inner child.
Yeah.
So that we can raise healthy children.
Yeah.
That's
facts. I want to stop being a child trying to raise children. I did that for a lot of years, and that was because of my own personal trauma. And so we're doing a new thing, and we're hoping maybe that you'll feel that you want to try to do it with us too, or even if we can offer you some encouragement or a word, anything. You know, we're a big family, man. We're a big family, and we're big blended family, and we're not the only big blended family out there. We're not perfect by any means or by any stretch of the imagination. There's a lot of stuff going on in this house that don't make it off the editing floor.
and we don't catch them because, like, Callie is the biggest character running around like a horse, and it's
There's a lot that go on in the Simpson family home. And there's a lot that goes into keeping this ship running in the right direction under the leadership of God. However, it works because we work at it. We work at everything, and we work at our relationship.
Oh, yeah.
We work at communicating with each other. We work at everything. Like, I mean, we intentionally look at everything, and when we see that something is deficient, or we attack it and we say, let's go, let's see what we can do. We sit down, we have a planning session and we plan for it. We say, how can we attack this, and how can we fix this, how can we help our children to live their best lives.
So yeah, our journey has been a long one. However, we have a journey that's still continuing. And it's just that now people can see us on our journey and, ask questions or even advice, especially because we don't know all the answers.
Yeah,
But we seek, we learn.
we're constantly learning,
Yeah.
constantly trying to learn. Because I've come to the conclusion that I know nothing outside my own lived life experience. Ultimately, I'm just accepting someone else's opinion. That's it. So I'm open. I'm just committed to being water, flow. And I'll end with this. In 2016, not all that long ago, I was sitting in a jail cell writing my parole letter. And I remember one of the things that I wrote in there in conclusion in that letter, while I was asking these people to release me early and trying to give them reasons as to why they should. And I says that my story is not yet written. And I turned the page. We on that next page. I hope you'll stick around to find out where it leads to.